peace and blessings, and good evening. Welcome to King Talk Tuesdays. I'm your host, Andy King, the show with real views, real news, and real talk. Here on King Talk Tuesdays, we cover so many topics, including education, healthcare, spirituality, economics, and so much more. I look forward to you joining us each and every week for more dynamic and inspiring conversations. King Talk, we're streaming every Tuesday at 8 p.m. live on Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And we also air every Thursday on BronxNet at 10:30 p.m., as well as FiOS channel 2136 on Optimal channel. We just there. We're every Thursday, and we even throughout the week. So we're just asking everybody to check us out because we're on a number of streaming services such as Roku TV, Amazon Prime, Millennial TV 24, as well as Clash TV. I encourage everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel to not miss an episode. Our episode on our YouTube channel is King Talk Tuesdays. Our email is also, if you have a thought, conversation that you want to share with us, you can email us at kingtalktuesdays@gmail.com. But we're going to hope that you check us out and stay tuned because you know what I always say, right? People pay attention to people who participate. So tell a friend, tell a neighbor, King Talk Tuesdays is on. So we're looking forward to all those questions and comments because we're going to have a very spirited conversation of some of the things that have been happening across the United States and beyond as we get into the Black condition. But we're going to be right back on King Talk Tuesday after a couple of messages from our friends.
Welcome to Therodynamics, where we get you back to life. We offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. We accept all major insurances. Don't worry about an appointment. At Therodynamics, walk-ins are accepted. We have locations in the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, and New Jersey. Our therapists, combined with our cutting-edge technology, will get you back to life. Visit our website at www.therodynamics.com for locations, services, and more.
Good Neighbors Community Outreach Agency provides programs that help community residents improve their lives and support their families. Are you in need of food, clothing, employment, or a home? We also provide immigration services and passport renewal.
Hi, I'm Pastor Glad.
And I'm Lady D.
We're here to serve you.
Need help? Ask us.
You can reach us by calling 718-652-3288 or visit us at gncdcny.org.
So many people are doing so many great things to help our communities, Black communities, brown communities, white communities, pale communities, yellow communities, just our community. So we're thankful for Good Neighbors, for being a good neighbor, Pastor Peard and Pastor Glad and Lady D, and all of them who are doing such wonderful work, feeding, clothing, and helping our neighborhood. Also, if you do have any injuries or you just want to heal your body up, Therodynamics is the place to go. With all the things that we're trying to manage, one thing I just really want to know, oh yeah, just really want to know what's going on, as our good brother Marvin Gaye used to sing and say to us. Well, as we embark on the month of February tomorrow, the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program, yes, the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program will be hosting its annual Celebrating Our History Month. We will be having a great event that's going to be happening at the Richard R. Green campus, where we're going to be celebrating and honoring. And we're going to get the flyer for you in the later day because we want you to know about it, and so people can come out and join us as the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program will be at the Richard R. Green campus. And we'll be celebrating the first to do it. And we mean the first to do it. We're looking at our new Congress member, Dr. Jamal Bowman, who's the first Black to ever represent the 6th Congressional District in the United States Congress. Also, we got Chaplain English Lewis Martin, who is the first chief advisor ever to the mayor of New York City and our blessed mayor, Eric Adams. We're thankful for him. And one I'm really honored, Brother Don Yearwood, who is the first Black United States Navy enlisted man to be recruited and part of the naval aviation. He's 92 years young, and we're grateful for him that we'll be able to honor him tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. at the Richard R. Green campus, 3710 Barnes Avenue, 10:30 to 12. So if your schedule's allowed, if you're around, come on and listen to our young people. But more important, as we celebrate our story. And one other thing we're going to be sharing with our kids is some small footage, and you'll get to see it in next week's show, but we're going to be airing some footage. Many people don't know that there was the black troops that Lincoln called on that won the Civil War. One of the best keeps secrets in the United States history when it comes to war, of how the North beat the South. And it wasn't for the black troops that joined in and Lincoln called them, because we were kicking butt all across. Who knows what this country would look like right now? So we're thankful to our brothers and brothers who took on the plead and the call to save and went in as slaves and came out as free men. Secondly, we want to announce that last week, our Mayor Eric Adams made his State of the City address, where he shared his vision for making New York City a better place for all, including expanding mental health services, protecting and investing in our women's health, and increasing access to healthy food. Well, tonight is one of those nights that we're going to beat on the heart, beat on the drum, beat on something that's very sensitive to us all. And that we got to fight to make sure that we stay strong as people of black people. I'm just going to say people of color, because this is about black people. As tonight, we touch on the black condition. So many things have happened to black folks over a couple of decades, couple of centuries in this country. And we want to touch on a little bit about how the black condition is today. And we have some guests that are going to give us some great information and opinions and thoughts and their conclusions to it all on tonight's show. And I'm gladful and welcome not the first time to the show, but she's been on the show, and she's smart, she's bright, she's intelligent, she's a mom, she's a dedicated servant to helping people, and an AKA as well. I want to welcome to King Talk Tuesday my sister Arianda Starks Bowman to King Talk Tuesday. Welcome, my sister.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Our honor and pleasure. Next, I want to introduce somebody who was out there on the fight, on the grind, in the streets, in the trenches, knowing the conditions of what our black boys and black girls go through each and every day. He is now currently, and as I just learned, got a promotion of all the great work he's been doing as the Director of Health and Hospitals Corporation Affairs, the whole system of in the Boogie Down Bronx, based on violence intervention programs. He's also the executive director at Lincoln's Hospital, Guns Down, Life Up. Welcome to King Talk Tuesday, my good brother, my good friend. Jimbo is in the house. Jimbo Downs, good to see you, my good man. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad you can be with us. And last but not least, this brother's taken on the charge to do a whole lot from an organization that meant so much to Black brothers and Black families across America. Started way back from the David Dinkins era. These number of Black men got together at the Crichton fire and the disrespect of a Black police officer. And I'll let him tell the story, but he's my president, and I love him tremendously. I want to welcome to the first time to King Talk Tuesday, our president of 100 Black Men New York, Brother Eldrin Enos. Welcome to King Talk Tuesday, my good man. How are you, Mr. President?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I want to thank the three of you for coming on tonight. But I would just want to give you all like first 2 minutes to talk a little bit about yourselves, what you're doing, because people want to know what qualifies you to talk about some things. So, and Sister Starks Bowman, you've been on the show before, and you're more than qualified to talk about the mental and health and the component of the Black man and the Black woman from Haitian descent. The strength of our brothers from Haiti. So I want to let you give like a minute to introduce yourself to our brothers and sisters who are tuning in tonight.
Sure. Good evening, everybody. As Mr. King said, my name is Arianda Starks Bowman, and I am a mother. I am of Haitian descent. I work in healthcare as well and service our Bronx population. And I think what qualifies me to speak on the Black condition is, as a Black woman raising Black children, I experience, the day-to-day triumphs and tribulations of being Black in America. From the patients that my practice sees every day, I see what people go through, and through the community service that I do as well, to ensure and help those in our community to overall try to have a better life.
Thank you for that. And I want to bring up next to introduce themselves. I see he's made his ways back in because he's been busy. We were all on a prior call before tonight's show as part of the New York City Department of Education Project Pivot, and how we're helping brothers and young teens turn their lives around. So I would like to give time for Brother James Dobbins, if you can put your mic on and talk to us about who you are and what you do.
How you doing? My name is James Dobbins. I've been involved from the inception I'm the director of Guns Down Life Up. I've been involved with Guns Down Life Up since its inception in 2010. And we're about solutions. We work in the emergency room. We are based in Lincoln Hospital, which is the busiest trauma center in New York City, number 3 in the nation. Our job is to track all the gunshots, assaults, and stabbings and offer them resources and alternatives. We also have a family support group to offer families that are traumatized. The best example I like to give, somebody gets shot or stabbed in the streets, the ambulance comes for the victim, the police come at the crime scene. Who's there for that person that want to retaliate? Or who's there for the community that's traumatized? So that's the void that we fall. Then we have prevention, giving kids positive things to do during their idle time. We have the Youth Ambassador Program, which is located in the health and hospital. We have every profession housed there. We do a lot of workshops with real life skills. We do music, media, fashion, dance, just teaching them real life skills and doing what they like to do, promoting music through peace. And we have them perform. You probably see a lot of our kids in the community performing these peace songs, doing fashion shows, just doing community engagements. Then we have our community mobilization. It's being out there, bringing awareness to the issues of gun violence. It's an all year round paid stipend program that we have. We have court-involved kids. We are ATI, Alternative to Incarceration program. We get referrals from the local precincts, Department of Probation, Department of Parole, and we're here just to service the community and create a safe space. Right now, my job, my new role is to create prevention in all the New York City health and hospitals. A lot of the trauma centers have intervention, like at Kings County Hospital, we have Carvey, Harlem Hospital, we have Aissa Sekou being one of the responders, we call the resource. The Crossroads at Lincoln Hospital, we have Guns Down Life Up. At Jacoby Hospital, we have, we have all these programs, stand up to violence. So we just want to replicate the best practices that we have with the intervention and prevention. We have success for 5 years. All of our participants that have been enrolled in our program for 5 years are actively still enrolled in our program. I've been to junior high school graduations. I've been to high school graduations. A lot of our kids are in college. They've started their own business. We just want to replicate the best practices and what's been working. I turned 21 in jail. I'm just giving you a little quick overview. I understand the population. I've turned 21 in prison. I know what it is to do they're talking about re-entry. I came home. I understand. I work construction. We got over 200 people OSHA training and job placement right now as we speak. And I'm just here to better service the community and have integrity. And I'm just excited to just make this community safe, man. We really need the help out here.
Well, I appreciate you, and I thank you tremendously for those words. Sister Starks is back in. Now I got to turn the mic over to my president to talk a little about what is the power and the strength of the 100. President Enos, please talk to us a little bit.
Absolutely. Name is Aldrin Ennis, president of 100 Black Men of New York. I have the good fortune of being the president for 2.5 years. It's an amazing organization that was founded in 1963, which you alluded to. And it was formed on the injustice that was done to a woman who made an illegal U-turn in Midtown Manhattan. And her citation was crossed out by a gentleman, Robert Mangum, who was a police officer, one of the highest ranking police officers at the time, also a Black man. And that just created a particular uproar within NYPD. And from that, he was able to galvanize a host of men within New York City, Black men, who came to his aid, would not let him fail. And from that, I like to say when one door closes, another opens, where he was removed of his duties. He subsequently became a judge in the city of New York. And, the organization was born. It was initially called 100 Men. And then the first Black mayor of the city of New York, David Dinkins, At that time, he decided, let's incorporate Black into it. So now you have the name 100 Black Men of New York, us being the first chapter in a conglomerate of over 110 chapters throughout the United States and abroad.
Well, thank you, my brother. Appreciate that intro and letting the folks know the strength of the 100. I believe we have our final guest who's in the background waiting to enter in. He is the president of the 47th Precinct Community Council, Latoba LaCrown. Are you able to join us this evening? Are you there? Well, let's see. Well, we'll bring him back in, but let's jump into tonight's conversation about what we have going on. Again, we are talking about the Black condition. We've noticed that, and I don't want to regulate our story to only 1 month, as so many of us who understand our existence was about building this country, the sacrifices we made for this country, the beatdown we got for just being the strength of who we are in this country. And we still go through it today. Those Black men and Black women who stand up and stand strong to protect their families, protect their neighborhoods, protect their communities, are often cut off by the knees. We have those such as Medgar Evers or Malcolm X or Dr. King. And I even go back to day one, the Most High in Christ Jesus, as much as he did for human beings still could not figure it out. So today we're still talking about the same conditions from day one. So I just want to hear from you, Mr. President. I want to give you the first question. 100 has always been on the ground helping Black people, but I'm going to jump into the conversation because people have been asking me, even some of the young people in my youth program, Tennessee. Let's talk about Tennessee. We had a young brother there, Tyree Nichols, on his way home to get to his mama, as he normally did, have a meal, after taking some pictures, brutally beat down. My first thought was, I didn't watch it, didn't want to watch it, didn't want to see it. Again, because the story of us getting beat down should not be part of the afternoon show, the evening show, the television show, the midnight show, the late show, for the entertainment of those who think bad about us. So give us your thoughts on what you've heard, what you know, and your feelings.
So I actually saw the video today, and it was quite alarming. But as so many other Black folks, it was not surprising to see it. Unfortunately, this is a situation that has happened to us for so many years, decades, centuries. So it's not something that we're not familiar with. However, that does not make it right. And as you know, no one should lose their lives at the hands of another simply for driving on his way home from, taking pictures. It's a horrendous situation, and I know that justice will be served swiftly in this particular case. But it's the complacency of those that were there. I think that's what really becomes alarming. To have a group of people that you work with all engage in this act of brutalizing another human being simply for just driving, right? They didn't have a cause for why they did it. It was simply because he was there. Obviously, as we go through the judicial system, we'll learn more about the whys. But I think to the family of Mr. Nichols, the why is irrelevant. They have lost a loved one. His friends have lost a loved one, and I'm sure that his community in Memphis has lost a champion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have, and it's disheartening. I want to go to you, Sister Starks Bowman, because you are a mother waiting for your son to come home 300 feet away from the house, only to get that disturbing call. Your thoughts? What's running through your head?
First one, of course, all Black.
We're losing your audio, my sister. I'm sorry, we're losing your audio. You're going in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I did want to extend my condolences to the family and to all Black families who've unfortunately experienced death at the hands of police brutality. But as a mother, I did watch the video. And, you know, to the brother's point, it was not surprising, but it was still, of course, heart-wrenching to see and to have him call out for his mother. And one of the points in the video that stood out to me was when he turned to an officer and said, you know, you're doing too much. And that's what the whole thing was. It was completely unnecessary. There were a lot of rumors swirling around social media on the cause of this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He didn't deserve that. And, you know, looking on the outside, a lot of people thought that the Memphis Police Department had it right. They had a Black police chief. They had a good amount of African-American officers. They relaxed a lot of their requirements in order to bring more officers of color in. And on paper, it looked like something like this shouldn't have happened. But I think it speaks more so to there's a police problem. You know, these were all Black men that did this to another Black man. And as a mother, it just, you know, my heart breaks for his family, for his mother, knowing that he was so close, yet still so far away for his life to be taken. You know, my heart breaks for his family.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate that as a mother, as a father, I could not even imagine having that, what emotions that I would go through if I was to hear my son go down like that. You know, I don't know, these brothers might not even made it to the jails in some cities. Jimbo, you work with young people who do have a challenge, a trust issue when it comes to law enforcement. Talk to us of your thoughts of what some of the conversations you're hearing from the young people that you're dealing and working with, and your own personal feelings of what we are all going through and talking about this day in 2023.
Yeah, well, so we had a conversation. My personal feelings is, the first thing came to my mind is, wow, how about we didn't have these cameras? I mean, how many of these things happened that we didn't catch? That's the first thing. Like before cell phones, before they had the police cam, you know, videotaping, and they had their videotape on, and it still was seen, and it still happened. So personally, I'm saying, wow, how many people are in jail right now? How many people are dead right now because there were no cameras, you know, and it's just really sad. And then I'm to be honest, a lot of the kids were saying, a lot of the youth, they were like, they want that same energy. I mean, of course, if it was, I just have to be frank about the discussion. Imagine if it was 5 white cops, right? It would have been a different thing. You know, the same dead man, but a whole different kind of outrage. You know, Black Lives Matter, you know, and things. And, you know, this would have been a big, stronger movement. So they said, we're having to that same energy. And then a lot of the youth say, when cops, do the murders and things to these young adults, we come out, but it happens all the time, you know, in the Bronx and in Brooklyn. And we want that same energy. You know, we understand when police kill a young man, it's definitely wrong and horrible. It's a shame. But when a young man kills a young man, we want that same energy. We want that same, those same advocates, the temporary advocates, I call them, or part-time advocates, you know? So I'm saying, you know, when we're talking about unity, we have to wake up on this. I quit my day job. I decided to do this because I was just tired. You know, so I sacrificed. I used to work construction, you know, had a house in New Hyde Park. People who know me, I mean, I gave up all that because I was just tired and I wanted more meanings, and I'm tired of just sitting on the sideline. So, you know, we hear about the problems. Like you said, King, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, you hear these speeches today, you seem like it's happening, like it happened, the same thing is happening yesterday, you know? So we have to just lift ourselves up. We have to have more self-esteem for ourselves. We really need unity. We have to be that village, and it takes all of us. You know, a lot of the competition out here with the different organizations, we have to just work together. These are all our youth, and we all just have to have the solution and talk about real tangible solution and changing the mindset from young. You know, and having respect and value. We have to change the mindset, you know, from young. When I was young, I used to, there was a time I used to step on ants, and I used to do bad things and take a lighter and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I used to set spiders on fly. But I learned. My grandmother said, "Hey, James, these are God creatures. I have respect for ants now. I let a fly out. I let a butterfly out before I just kill it. So we have to have respect for human life and morals and respect for ourselves. And it starts at home and it starts within yourself."
Okay. Well, you said that all of you mentioned something that's very interesting, and I just want to, just before we go to halftime break, just recap a little what I've heard here today. The first thing I'm hearing is that the difference if there was 5 white officers as opposed to 5 black officers. Sister Bowman, Starks Bowman mentioned, hey, we're talking about a mother grieving, crying, doesn't make any sense. And our good president mentions, how dare they? We're not surprised. But the thing I want to bring to, in combination all of that, a new mode has been set. The standard has been set by Memphis. No longer can police officers kill down a black man, and it takes 5 years like they did with Ramondi Graham, with Richard Hayes, or with Eric Gardner. Those years don't matter anymore because a precedent has been set. So that means you can swiftly fire, indict officers for killing black people. And maybe it should just be an individual, call it hate crimes. But if the video is there, you cannot say you get 2 or 3 years to try to say you didn't do it when the video shows you punch the guy in the face, take your baton out, break his nose, but you got like you didn't do anything. But I'm glad Memphis moved swiftly. I'm sad that mom is going through that, and this should be something that we should be really accepting. Because we are black. I heard a sister quote today that, listen, they're used to black people committing crimes and looking at a criminal, so it's easy for them to move swiftly on these black officers. So again, white people commit crimes. White people are violent. If we talk about the history of this country, who perpetuated more violence than anybody on the planet? We just talking history. People get offended when you start reading through the history books to learn some truths. But the truth is the truth. We didn't bring ourselves here. We didn't hang ourselves. We didn't kill ourselves. We didn't cut off our toes. We didn't get beat down for trying to run away. But these is part of the American story that we can't ever forget. And that's why today, 5 black officers, and whether the rumors are true in regards to some relationship that might have happened between one of the officers and this young man. But at the end of the day, it was a kill and overkill. And obviously, as one of you gently said, that obviously they've done this before, that they were able to think they can do the camera or no camera. Even though they had cameras on, they didn't even realize that they didn't even care the way they were responding to this young man. So to his family and to all of us, we send a prayer up. But right now, it is halftime of King Talk Tuesday, the show with real views, real news, and real talk. We air every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. We air every Thursday on FiOS channel 2136 and Optimal channel 70. So please tune in, watch us, get more episodes. But you know me, as a former basketball player, got to get my stretch on, make sure I don't mess up my groove, and make sure the flow is always going strong, because this is what we do with King Talk. We talk about real things. And, as we're talking about the black condition, I want to just offer up this moment in prayer and thought to all my brothers and sisters who are watching tonight, to all of our friends, our neighbors, our community, our enemies, our frenemies, to everyone. It's been trying times for the last couple of years because of the pandemic, but more importantly, it's been a trying essence for the black man and the black woman that live on this soil and above and abroad. But I ask us to find that centerpiece of guidance in your heart. Let your spirit move closer and stronger to a higher process, a higher being, a higher spirit. For me, it's the Most High in Christ. I look to get guidance and love, and I know, without him, I am nothing. I know without him, who knows where my life would be today. I know without him, I would probably crash and fall and, hit the concrete. And instead of letting them carry me, I hit concrete. And trust me, concrete hurts. So I'm faithful and thankful that he carries me through my steps, through all my trials and tribulations, to everyone's trials and tribulations, that to find a spiritual force that allows you to walk through not only the sunshine days, but through those dark days of being someone who lives in the earth, live in this world and say not being of this world, as scriptures will tell you if you want to follow scripture. So to all my brothers and sisters, again, I send prayers up for strength, protection, guidance, love, and wisdom to us all. So as we jump back in the second half of King Talk Tuesday, I want to thank a few folks who are tuning in tonight. Yamaya Maxey, who's tuning in with us tonight, is telling everybody hello as we kicked it off. And she also mentions excellent programs for our youth. Jimbo, you're doing a wonderful job with Guns Down, Lights Up. We want to say thank you to him as well. And she also mentions that teamwork and support is the key. And as we want people to continue to watch King Talk Tuesday so they can grab some information, share some information, and talk to their neighbors to tune in so we can always grab more information. So let's jump back into the second half of King Talk Tuesdays with our guest tonight. I want to bring everybody back up on the screen because our president and Jimbo and Sister Starks Bowman, we did get a question that did come in. They wanted to know, and this goes for everyone, as parents and community leaders, are you scared or nervous for the future of our Black children? So I'm going to ask you, Mama Starks, would you take that question for us? Let's get your mic on.
That's a deep, heavy question, and I can really only speak for me personally. I don't operate on fear, and to what Mr. King through the prayers said during halftime. I follow Jesus Christ as well. So I'm not afraid. All I can do is, what all us parents try to do, and is try to lead our children, pray over them, educate them, and, do the best. We watch over them and, do the best that we can. I think this generation and the generations upcoming are definitely, a lot of them are informed and definitely have information more so at their fingertips, to what the brother said about, recording and cameras. Definitely technology is a lot more pertinent now than it was before. So I don't operate out of fear. I just, will try to prepare them to the best of my ability and, continue to watch over them.
President Enos, there's a lot of Black men, 100 of us and more, doing things. What do you think the organizations feel? But you, as a father of many, because whether they're from our loins or not from our loins, we still are Black men who are helping young brothers get it right. Your thoughts on the question that one of our viewers posed?
So just as Sister Starks Bowman mentioned, we can't operate out of fear. Once you do that, you've already lost the battle, right? It just becomes crippling. However, what we need to do is make sure that we stay prayed up, that we take care of our mental health, that we eat right and do everything that we possibly can to live a just life. For a lot of folks who chose not to view this, the video of the beating, the assault, the murder, I think they do have a good point, right? Because as you continue to watch these type of things and they're ingrained in your mind, it causes stress, right? And it causes trauma. And one thing as Black folks, we do need to be very conscious of that because we have underlying issues, whether it be diabetes, high blood pressure, those can act as triggers, right? So we have to make sure that we take care of our mental health, whether that's, taking time out to get some fresh air, doing something that brings you joy. They say, this too will pass. I pray that another incident does not happen. But unfortunately, this is the reality. But we have to keep on living. We have no other option.
Well, you're absolutely right. We got to keep on living. Jimbo, talk to us a little bit about the young people who made their comments today. Is there any emotional distress going on with them? How are they responding and reacting to this?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of emotional a lot of distrust with we have to earn the trust with the police, obviously, change the narrative of the police officers, the system, I would say. A lot of them say the system works, you just don't have the right people, and And I always use I statements because at one time my mindset was different. Like I mentioned, I turned 21 in jail. I tried to take shortcuts in life. I look at myself as a person who people told me I'm a career criminal. I'll never be nothing. So I was once those who y'all are identifying with as far as being a menace or not being anything. So your mindset could change. I always say it would work for me or would work for others that I've seen change, So the future, we just have to mobilize more unity. We have to take out the old, how you say it, the old, you have to clean your closet out and put new stuff in the closet. You keep new stuff inside the old closet, and
yeah.
Closet. So, and I think people are comfortable with, or the system is comfortable with the norm. I have to be careful of things I say sometimes, but it's just the facts that we just need, we just need new, fresh mentors to help alongside with the ones that are doing the excellent work. We just need more manpower, fresh ears, fresh eyes, more oversight, more integrity, and more accountability. I'm strong on when a patient come in to the emergency room, we assess the patient, we figure out how can we work with them, how do we better service this participant or this patient. Do they need GED? Do they need job placements? Do they need that mentor? Do they need to change them? So we just have to there's no shortcuts in this. My phone rings. We have over 200 kids. I have about 25 of them that calls me directly. So there's no shortcut in this. We have youth that are youthful offenders. They get they come to our program instead of being incarcerated. It's an alternative to incarceration. And we open their eyes up. A lot of them wasn't aware of the opportunities. I took a whole group to Queens to go bike riding. That's from the Bronx. And there was an awe. They saw the grass in the middle of the streets. We went to Hempstead. We rode from Long Island City to like Hempstead. We did like a nice long ride with the bike group. And they just saw things in Queens and backyards. And, we just have to change the narrative. And it comes with the parents also. I talked to some adults, some parents. Yeah, I could get section, I could get housing to this, I could get a voucher. The hustle is getting vouchers and getting foster kids. I mean, you have to change your mindset so you can have that backyard. You can have that barbecue, that deck. You can have that house with good credit.
I like that. I like that tremendously. And so when you say all of that, the topic of the show is the Black condition. While we touched on the violence of policing, there's transition on the Black condition all around, whether it's economics, spirituality. I want to go to 100 Black Men because President, we do a lot of things. Not only New York is the only chapter, we're all across the country. Talk to us a little about the conditions of the Black condition and what is 100 looking to do, whether it's in New York or outside of New York. Thank you.
So it leads me to our pillars, our 4 pillars, the programs that we run. It's health and wellness, it's education, it's mentoring, and it's economic empowerment. So everything that we do kind of falls into those 4 brackets. We have youth programs, in particular our Junior 100 program. It's a 17-week program, and it teaches young men about leadership. What does it mean to do public speaking? How do you have a firm handshake? All these skills that you normally would not get in your traditional school, we provide that to them on Saturdays. So they wake up early, they come out and participate in the program. And, we realize that they could be anywhere, excuse me, on a Saturday, but they chose to be with the 100. It's a safe environment. And we train these young men up because we realize that these are going to be the markers that they need to be successful men and leaders of their own households, to be frank. So as I mentioned earlier, we have about 110 chapters throughout the United States and abroad. And what we realize is certain things that work in New York may not work in LA. It may not work in the Memphis chapter. So it's tailor-made to the location that you live in. In New York, we currently have 3 chapters, one in Syracuse and one in Eastern New York. And, my goal is to help us work closer with each other. So there are going to be some activities that you see at all three chapters, especially if it's a statewide opportunity that we're working together because there's strength in numbers. And it's also something that we're looking to do within New York City, partner with community-based organizations, faith organizations, various entities that had shared values that we can work on particular projects. Because once again, there's strength in numbers. No one has a monopoly on the work that's needed in the city of New York. And we want to be a beacon for not only young Black men, but for Black families.
Black families. So I'm gonna go over to you, Sister Starks Bowman, because as we talk about the family, the Black family, what are the conditions that you would like to see that you imitate and you want others to emulate to make sure that their family stays strong in the Black condition?
Well, the Black family is, the pillar of the Black community. And I think that, what I try to emulate is, just having a strong household, rooted in faith, rooted in education, and also, as a family, volunteering in the community that we are a part of. I think a lot of young people are looking for stability that they might not have in their own family. And I think your family doesn't necessarily mean the nuclear family of mom, dad, and the kids. I think, like 100 Black men in the different organizations, that can be your family. That can be a family who you can depend on, who you can rely on, and who you can relate to. And, in a lot of the, even in my employment as a medical facility director, we have a lot of young people who come in and really are just looking for some place to belong. They don't like, where they are and the people who they hang around, and they want to do better. A lot of them have expressed that, and they don't know where to go and what to do. I had a young man who came and he said, he doesn't want to be doing what he's doing, but he feels that he'll be laughed at if he gets a regular job. And I think, that is something that the Black family can be extended to these organizations, and that the young people can know if you're not being supported by the family you live with, there are plenty of other people who will support you and provide you with the resources that you need to ultimately succeed.
I like you brought, and we talk about the condition of the Black family. Who constitutes the Black family, whether they're in your house or external? Young people are always looking, and that's what I think some of our adults forget. The generation of us now forget that we were once 13. It might have been a long time ago, but we were 13 and 14 or even 9 one time. And then we neglect that. Some of us truly neglect. But then there was the Black condition of things that happen in our communities to break up the Black family. In the 80s, you had a breakup between the crack epidemic, and everybody was falling apart. And those mamas who are having children, you have quote unquote children who are in 2022 of the crack era. And if the mama was dysfunctional, what is that little 2-year-old who is now 22-year-old? That's a challenge for them. So Jimbo, I want to talk to you before we go to a commercial right quick. You got about a minute to talk about how do we make sure that when children are in search of, they don't find themselves with the wrong group, such as quote unquote, if you want to say the Blood, the Crip, or whatever, High 9, True 9, all those that's going on out there in the street, and they find themselves doing the wrong thing. How do we prevent that? How do we help them with that?
She hit it on the head. A lot of these kids come, first of all, they need love. They want to be heard and loved. A lot of the kids come to our program. We say the first thing we say is we are a new family. We're here for you. And a lot of them are affiliated, with some gangs and things or the street life. And once we mentor and they come and they see alternatives and they feel the love, they meet new friends. And like after school programs inside this actual school is great. I mean, I support all after school programs, but for 5 years, we've been successful because we have a lot of kids recruiting youth. We have a waiting list. You know, because if you look at our T-shirts, we make it cool, trendy, we make it fun. We get them to trust us. So it's about trust and just showing them love and being there for them, and really showing them prove, because they really want to know you care. They don't care what you know. They want to know you care.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
They want to know you care. And once they know that, then you can work with them. You know, so the reason why people always say, "Hey, James, how you have all these kids and how you been successful for 5 years with 0 people going into the emergency room," you know, of course, except for the court mandates and things, and 0% of them, you know, being involved in violent incidences, is because they come after school 3 or 4 times a week. They look at us as the fun thing to do. You know, to the studio, they're doing peace songs. You know, you came to the event that we had at Lincoln Hospital Friday. How we had the kids showcasing their designs, the T-shirts they created. We put it inside retail stores. You know, we got Melly Mel, people in the music business. They learn in the music business. So we use that as a bait, as a carrot. You know, meanwhile, we kind of showing them and giving them direction.
So let's come right back. Continue to come back, because we're going to get a message from a youth group that truly cares.
Okay.
The Bronx Youth Empowerment Program, YEP, is a youth organization that has served the Northeast Bronx for 17 years. During our tenure, we have provided recreational and educational forums that have nurtured the growth of many youth in the community. YEP has also serviced hundreds of youngsters around New York City. YEP's target audience is youth from the age of 11 to 18, with the goal of helping youth become productive adults. YEP provides young people with resources to explore leadership skills, community involvement, and self-development. YEP consists of weekly and bi-weekly informational sessions with guest speakers from professional, political, and entertainment arenas. Also, as a part of community involvement, YEP will host trips to a variety of venues for educational and recreational experiences. As we continue to partner with other local organizations and serve our community, we will strive to unite and develop the youth in our community. The mission of the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program is building mind, body, and community.
Oh yeah, looking to build mind, body, and community. 17 years on the grind. Didn't know we've lasted this long when my wife and I started it 17 years ago, helping young people. But hey, if you got called to serve and give service, then it is what it is. Nothing can stop you. Like Jimbo said, he had to give it up to do something else to help young people. And having programs that care, like the Junior 100 and all the things that Guns Down, Life Up, and the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program, and everybody who does their part. I'm truly grateful and thankful. So let's jump in. This is the kids' part. You know, I want to hear what we're talking about. How do we save our children? The Junior 100 is doing some things. Talk to us a little bit more, President Enos. How do we, you know, because, you know, I heard about the programs that are inside, but how do we grab that young person that's never going to make it in the doors because whether they're too cool or think they're too cool, because most gangbangers don't go to the after-school programs. You know, they're not going to get there, but they're the ones who need the help and the service a lot. What are we doing, or how can we do better to connect with those souls?
I mean, there's so many programs out there, and you know, the Junior 100. You know, I love it terribly. You know, we've been doing that program for about 13 years now, and so many kids have gone through that program and have told others about it. And we've also partnered with Weill Cornell Medical Center to branch it out, to do more than just leadership, but for those that are interested in, you know, the field of medicine, they have that track. As a matter of fact, we're starting to recruit for that. So that program can start, I believe, next month. But one of the ways that you can connect with these young kids is by meeting them where they are. Right. You know, it's hard to get their attention if you're in a blazer, shirt and tie. You have to dress it down, especially when you're dealing with them, so that you can add some validity to what you're saying. Also, what I find is that having someone that's closer in age to them is also very helpful. You know, I guess I still look young. But having, and this is why I think our Junior 100 program works really well, is that we have a young man, Will Dennis, who co-leads that program. And the interesting story about him is that when I was education committee chairman for 100 Black Men, he was one of the scholarship recipients, and he went off to Penn State. Did amazing things. Had graduated with an engineering degree, above a 3.2 GPA. Became a member of 100 Black Men, and now is, you can almost say he's paying it forward. And he's been very passionate about it. So we've been able to find a young face, someone with a young spirit, to help co-lead that program. So, that's one of the ways to do it. And sometimes the other is finding past youth offenders, right? Because they can tell the story of, look, I was out on the streets. I know what it's like. I got caught, or I didn't get caught. And I can tell you what it's really about. And there's no future in being on the streets. So you kind of have to tailor these things. As I say, there's no one way to cure all ills. But I think each organization that is in that space on community-based organizations that are geared towards Black and brown kids, what do we do to save more lives? One of the things that we've done with 100 Black Men is partner with NYPD as far as doing a gun buyback program. And we've been able to take, I believe, at least 150 guns off the streets of New York City. And it's been helpful. So imagine if each of those guns took a life, that's at least 150 lives. But more importantly, it's the hurt that we've been able to stop from 150 families, right? And when a person is lost, their legacy is lost as well. So it's been amazing to be able to be a part of an organization that is able to do this type of work. But there is strength in partnerships. So I think that's my message. Organizations, let's partner together and continue to save lives.
All right, I like that partnership, united, bringing resources together, because everybody does something a little different. But we put that gumbo together, and it tastes better together. I get it. That's good. We got roughly about 4 minutes left, and I want to give Sister Starks Bowman a moment. I'm going to turn the conversation quickly. We talk about the rough styles, the rough life, the rough energy of some of our males, but not every student is rough. Some of them just can be a little lost or in searchers, as we heard of. I know you're part of a sorority, aka sisterhood. So talk a little bit about what the sisterhood is doing just to grab some of these young sisters, whether they loud mouth, talk mouth, or just need some manners and etiquette. How, or even they just bright minds already without an issue. What are your sisterhood doing?
So one of our pillars under this new president is to strengthen our families. And most chapters have girls programs or youth programs, specifically programs targeting middle age to high school girls, where they meet after school and learn a variety of different things. I'm in the Bronx chapter, and we have a rites of passage program is what we call it. And this program, teaches young girls, like what you said, etiquette, financial literacy, HBCUs. We have career day, and it really encourages and nourishes the girls' spirits, mind, and body, and pushes them in the direction on how to be responsible young women, and prepares them for college or, the job market and the next step. So that's really one of the sorority's main goals, is to nurture our young girls, show them what they might not see every day, expose them to what they will be encountering as adults, and ultimately prepare them for that next step.
Okay, because I want to, we so often talk about some of the young people who are just getting it wrong and messing up, but there are some young people who are on the right track who just need the guidance to stay on the right track. Jimbo, talk to us. I'm gonna give you I really got like 3 minutes left here. Take a minute to talk about some final words that you would like to offer outright, and then I'm gonna go to your President Ennis for final words as well. Give us some final words, Mr. Brother Jimbo.
I guess we have to target the trendsetters. You know, I heard you mention the gangbangers. We have the shooters. We have active shooters coming into the hospital, inside Lincoln Hospital, and they go out and bring back the other shooters because they go back and tell them word of mouth is the best seller. You know, the streets, your integrity, yes, the streets don't lie. Okay, so when we go out and I got a guy on Cortland in the Bronx. I got him a job working construction. He's in the union, local 731. He went back and told his friends, "Hey, man, guns down my pop. I got a job. I'm working." He came back with 4 more people. I need a job. So that's how I got 200 people working. So if you do the work and you have integrity and you're sincere and you show love, you know, it'll come back. So I just say, you know, we can't do this long distance. There's no long distance way of doing this. You know, from afar, you have to be hands-on.
That's right.
In doing it, and that's what works. That's right.
Gotta be on the ground in the trenches. Can't be sending emails all day thinking you can organize somebody by sending emails.
And you have to, he said they have to see and respect you, you know, and that's what it takes, the word of mouth. But I know I had a minute, but that's what I would say: integrity and accountability.
All right, touch one, teach one, each one. Gotcha. All right, President Ennis, I'm gonna give you the last word for this evening.
I would say try to connect with people. I think we have more in commonality with each other than not. Just by having this conversation, I learned that Sister Starks Bowman is of Haitian descent. So am I. She's an AKA. I'm an Alpha. You know, so there's a lot of commonalities. And you know, Brother Dobbins, I think you were riding through Queens, LIC. I'm from Queens, born and raised, from Far Rockaway. So you know, just speak to people. I think that, and also speak to people that look different than you, right? Don't only just speak to Black folks, speak to white folks, speak to Asians. You'll find that you're going to find some type of commonality with these people. And I truly believe that if you take the time to find out, you know, people's struggles, what you have in common with them, it will cause you to not do some of the things that you would do, to act in a hateful manner, to do assault on another human being if you understand them. I think it's easy to hurt someone that you have no ties to, no type of relation. You don't understand their struggle. That's easy. But for you to hurt your own brother, that becomes very difficult. So take the time to learn people's stories and to get to know them.
Well, I want to thank the 3 of you for being on this evening show. As for the month, for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be talking about the Black condition, how we continue to love ourselves so we can love each other and we can love others as well. Again, thank you. Look for everyone join us on the Black History event tomorrow at Richard Green Middle School at 10:30 a.m. Doors open at 10 a.m. And we're grateful and thankful all of you have tuned in tonight with our special and great guests. But as we always do on King Talk Tuesdays, we end every show with the scripture. And tonight's scripture reads from 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. Blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and the God of all comfort, who comfort us in all our tribulations, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. If no one told you today, God loves you and so do I. Your friend, your brother, and your neighbor, Andy King. Peace.